Cody. Greetings from Crypto News Lebanon and welcome today to Crypto Untangled.
Hello to Crypto
Hello.
News Lebanon, and I really can't thank you guys enough for putting me on the show, for allowing me to speak, and I'm very excited to see Icon expand, and I'm very excited for you guys to allow for different representatives of Icon to speak on your show.
Thank you. Likewise, I really look forward to a very informative and insightful conversation together. So, let's start. Can you please tell us what is Midos, what is the idea behind it, and how it is Midos related to Icon?
Sure. So what Icon Midos is one of the 132, as of right now, the 132 public representatives of the Icon ecosystem. And what Icon Midos stands for is Twitter outreach, community education, and most importantly, there is a gamified trading predictions platform that we are creating called Future ICX. So you, in essence, create a prediction on the basis of what you think the ICX price will be in a specific given time. And in the process of doing that, you earn something called dividend points. So at the end of the week or the end of the month, you earn dividends on the basis of your predictions. So in essence, you never really lose. So that's what we are building, and what a public representative is, specifically Midos, and the 132, you can define all of them as public representatives, because that's what they are. They are block producers. They produce transactions within the Icon network, and that's what a public representative is, and that's what Icon Midos is.
Thanks a lot. And to go now in more detail about Icon, it is like a cryptocurrency platform that enables blockchains to connect with each other via the smart contract.
Yes.
And as I heard, Icon is the blockchain of blockchains. What does this mean?
Yes.
Corey, with your expertise and being
Sure.
an ambassador of Icon, can you please explain it in more details, and how can Icon bring the crypto to the real world?
Sure. So I think a universal problem, and not just Icon, but in cryptocurrency as a whole, is the notion and the problem that different blockchains cannot connect to one another. And in order to have mainstream adoption, you must be able to interconnect private and public blockchains that are created and implemented into the cryptocurrency sphere. So when I first learned about Icon, there's a quote, and again, I don't remember who said it, but Icon is the blockchain that will allow all blockchains to talk with one another. And that's so important, that Icon is the blockchain of blockchains because it allows blockchains to interconnect with other blockchains. I know that's quite a tongue twister,
Yeah.
but it's a necessary one. But the reason why Icon is so well positioned as the blockchain of blockchains is because it has over 150 employees in South Korea and 132 public representatives that span 5 different continents. So you have a global community of iconists working together to expand the Icon ecosystem and interconnect different protocols within the Icon ecosystem. And I think that's an incredible feat, because in order for cryptocurrency to be mass adopted, we need interoperability. We need that ability to interconnect different blockchains, because if we don't, we have such an unfortunate circumstance that we can't have mass adoption unless we have interconnectivity. Just as how globalization in the 21st century and the 20th century has interconnected our world into one global community, Icon is looking to do the same thing under a representative Republican democracy.
Okay.
And that's exactly why I believe Icon is the blockchain of all blockchains, and it's in a position to make that a reality, specifically in South Korea, because in South Korea, it is a blockchain hub. It is arguably the biggest blockchain hub on the entirety of the planet. And Icon is the largest blockchain in South Korea with multitudes of partnerships with over 78 different partners and its digital identity service called My ID. And not to mention, it's partnered with the largest bank in South Korea, one of the largest employment services, and our founder has had meetings with the American Chamber of Commerce in South Korea. So if that doesn't scream governmental legitimacy and validity, I don't know what does.
Excellent. Now you mentioned about the partnerships and like different institutions are adopting ICON's blockchain technology system. Please, like it's from banks to universities, I heard and read about it, and to
Yes.
security, safe, like insurance companies.
Uh-huh.
Can you please name a few and why they are adopting ICON's blockchain technology?
Absolutely. So the first thing I want to say is, as an upcoming history teacher, this is something that hits home to me, is Post-Tech University, one of the largest universities in South Korea, is utilizing a specific application within the ICON ecosystem called Proof, which is a certificate issuance protocol. So what they're doing is they're issuing diplomas to their students through the ICON protocol. And Post-Tech is one of the largest universities in South Korea, and that cannot be overstated. It goes to show the legitimacy of the ICON ecosystem and the ICON network. And I want to also talk about other partnerships as well. So for example, Conflux Network, which integrated with the South Korean blockchain known as ICON, which is a blockchain out of China that has government legitimacy as well. And they're looking to create cross-chain interoperability between the two blockchains, which I think is incredible. I think it's an amazing feat. Now, again, we also need to look at the governmental legitimacy side as well, because without, I think the ethos of cryptocurrency and the Wild West notion of it has to come to an end eventually, because in order to garner mainstream adoption, we need governmental oversight. We need governmental partnerships. And that's exactly what ICON is doing. So, for example, on September 22nd, 2 days ago, there was a blockchain business forum, and the CTO of ICON Loop, Hayukan Ryu, was a speaker. And other speakers, which included IBM Korea's CTO and deputy director of the South Korean FSC, which the FSC is pretty much the SEC equivalent in the United States of America. So there were also attendees that included several governmental entities, including the Seoul and Busan governments, which is gigantic in itself, to show that ICON is working with different governmental officials and different governmental entities. Not only are they working with governments, but they're working with different businesses as well. So for example, Jeju Island, often known as the Hawaii of South Korea, has an annual tourist rate of 15 million tourists a year. And with this global pandemic, unfortunately, its onslaught on the world, what ICON decided to do is create COVID tracing in Jeju Island, and it's already being tested, and it's a very exciting feat. It's being tested in over 100 businesses and over 44 private companies, and it will be expanded to all of the provincial businesses after this pilot operation and checking the stability of the application itself. Another institution that's utilizing ICON for blockchain rarity certificates is the STIN. So what it's doing is these gin bottles, a PREP team known as Block 42 enabled this, and what it does is that the blockchain known as ICON is tracking rarity of specific gin bottles that are being distributed by the company known as the STIN, which I think is also incredible. We have, and we have Denal, which is a global giant with over $5 billion in market share, the largest in the South Korean mobile payment industry, and over 100,000 merchants. And their fintech project, Paycoin, will integrate ICON Loop's blockchain and our My ID digital identity service. That's another partnership. Let's go to another partnership. The list goes on and on and on, and it's so amazing to see. It really is. So we have a partnership with Morpheus Labs. We have a partnership with Xiong. which Icon Loop signed a business agreement with Initech, a financial security company in South Korea, to promote private authentication-based decentralized identity verification. Then we have the largest bank in South Korea, known as Shinhan Bank, which is also has 482 billion and 18 million customers. And this is the first MyID integration of over 78 partners. And I heard a great quote by someone by the name of Brian Lee. He's team lead at Rhizome, which is a top 10 P-Rep team. And he said that if there were an announcement once a week regarding integration of MyID, it would take almost a year and a half to go through the entirety of those announcements, which I think is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And when we talk about also small businesses, we have, for example, Paul Bassett, which is arguably one of the most famous coffee shops in South Korea. And 100 stores are tracking COVID-19 contact, through Icon Loop's Visit Me application. And what Visit Me is pretty much is a smart check-in experience. It provides pre-registration, check-in, and management of visitors in a simplified smart visitor management solution. Not only that, but we have Saramin blockchain-based recruitment services. And Saramin is pretty much one of the large employment centers in South Korea. And what Icon is being utilized for is interview report forgery prevention services, offline test attendance check services, DID-based certificate forgery prevention services. The list goes on and on and on of the massive partnerships that Icon is creating. And it goes to show how incredibly well-positioned Icon is in multitudes of different avenues. For example, regarding not regarding partnerships, but regarding applications. There's an application on Icon called Icon Bet, and it is one of the top 20 dApps in the cryptocurrency ecosystem by volume, not just Icon, but in the top 20 of the entirety of dApps in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, which is gigantic. We have partnerships with Samsung. We have partnerships with Visit Me, which surpassed over 200 applicants and 30,000 users in 2 months. 2 months. Only 2. And it's amazing that crypto-friendly Jeju Island chose Icon for coronavirus tracing. And it goes to show that Icon can keep up with world events and innovate in regards to world events and how they can keep up with what's going on in the world. And it goes to show an innovative company is a company that can keep up with global events, both positive and negative.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Corey. You gave
You're very welcome.
Detailed information, and it shows like all these partnerships and innovative ideas. It shows that Icon has many features that
absolutely
attracts so many institutions, like from banks, universities, hospitals, to go and to try to adapt and to incorporate Icon blockchain into their system, into their own like core function. So can you please tell us more about these features, and
sure,
where do you see Icon in the next 5 years in ideas development, goal achievement, maybe in privacy, in security, data security issues? Please tell us more.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank
so
you.
The first thing I want to say is I want to start off with the individual, and then I'll work my way up to businesses and governmental entities. So there is an incentivization measure implemented in the Icon ecosystem known as staking and voting. And the one thing that drew me to Icon in the beginning in 2018 was the idea that Icon was conceived in the idea of a representative democracy where every single icon, it doesn't matter if you have a million icons, it doesn't matter if you have 5, you have the opportunity to cast your vote and stake to different public representatives of the network that you see that can expand the Icon network, or P-reps that may possibly not be as active as others. And you have the choice to move your votes in accordance to what you believe is beneficial to ICON. And we look at traditional financial sectors where you could have, unfortunately, 30 years ago, there was a 7%, 6, 7% rate of interest on what you have in the bank. And now you get charged a maintenance fee and there's no interest. And if you do, $1 million gets you, 30 bucks at most. And with Icon, however, the real yield right now annually is 13%, and you can redeem your rewards every single day. So that is one enticing measure, well, multiple enticing measures for the individual to get into Icon. One, because it provides passive income, and two, it allows you to have a voice in governance structure. So in regards to public representatives, the top 22 P reps participate in governance structure and governance proposals. And any P reps outside the top 22, they also have a voice in governance. They don't technically vote on the proposals, but they also have a voice and they also build upon the ICON ecosystem. And these P reps are not stagnant in their positions. They can go up, they can go down, depending on how many votes there are. So that voice, that democratic republicanism that allows for individuals to voice their opinions and voice their votes through the ICX coin, goes to show the individual has multitudes of avenues to participate in this new emerging global economy. So in regards to features, which I think is very important for institutions and private and public businesses, is the fact that, and app developers, is something known as fee sharing. So developers can stake ICX to pay transaction fees of their users, another enticing venture for both the user and the dApp creator. So then you have smart contracts written in Python for better development experience. You have Java coming next year, along with a Java virtual machine. Interoperability coming next year with BTP. So BTP is the blockchain transmission protocol. And the blockchain transmission protocol is one of the most fundamental and pivotal components of the ICON ecosystem. And what it allows for is for different blockchains to talk with one another, to speak with one another, to connect with one another. And that is something that is so important in not just ICON, but in the cryptocurrency ecosystem as a whole, to interconnect. Because if you can't, just like how globalization has connected our world, how can you connect the world without interoperability between chains? It's just not plausible. It's not going to happen. And ICON, as the blockchain of all blockchains, is enabling that venture and enabling that notion through its BTP protocol. So I touched on this also before regarding 22 block producers that participate in decentralized governance proposals. They also, the 22 block producers, assist in scalable and secure networks. The DPoS network, so everybody can earn staking rewards, and transaction fees are burned that lead to sustainable economics in the future. So for the next 5 years, where do I see ICON? I see ICON as a behemoth in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, not just because I'm an ambassador, not just because I've been in this ecosystem for 2.5 years, but because of the fact that I see ICON solving so many intricate problems in the world of economics, in the world of cryptocurrency governance, in the world of interoperability, all of these different issues that cryptocurrency has yet to solve, that ICON has the potential and will solve. And that's where I see ICON, given its position with the largest bank in South Korea, with some of the largest universities in South Korea, with some of the largest private businesses in South Korea, with the largest COVID tracing app in a blockchain ecosystem in Jeju Island that can reach 15 million users based off the amount of tourists that come to Jeju Island, the numerous different MOUs with governmental entities, the recent webinar with Min Kim, our founder, and Henry Lee with the American Chamber of Commerce in South Korea. It goes to show that if a cryptocurrency ecosystem can have a discussion with the American Chamber of Commerce in South Korea, it shows the immense amount of validity, governmental legitimacy, and where they see ICON in 5 years, because a state would not look at a protocol that they don't see is going to be around in 5 years. It's just, why waste time on a protocol that you think is going to not work efficiently? And they see this potential in ICON. And that's exactly where I see Icon becoming a behemoth and truly fulfilling its motto of hyperconnecting the world, beginning with South Korea. And regarding the next 5 years in regards to the intricate components of the actual network. So I think deflationary assets, because of so many transaction fees being paid, because of the immense amount of transactions being utilized in the Icon network, a vibrant DeFi ecosystem supporting assets of many different blockchains, as we are even looking to connect with Ethereum, and the adoption of public blockchains in many areas of life in South Korea. So in essence, if I could sum it up in one sentence, is Icon will revolutionize South Korea in the name of hyperconnecting it through interconnectivity. That's where I see Icon in the future.
Thank you, Corey. And
You're very welcome.
with your expertise and with what you said so far, and also you said that you are with Icon since more than 2.5 years, and you work closely with the teams, you are closely with the ideas, you are closely with this powerful and resourceful system that
Yes,
Icon brings. Do you
absolutely.
think that Icon is the solution for a sustainable economy?
Yes, I do, because I think that Icon solves so many different problems that cryptocurrency faces today. So Icon is a general purpose smart contract platform. So the types of problems that it can solve are vast and numerous. Some examples include offering DeFi products, and I'll get into a specific DeFi product in just a minute, which bring traditional finance instruments to scale at a global level. Another example would be decentralized ID, which I specified before briefly, but 78 partners that include some of the largest banks in South Korea, some of the largest universities in South Korea, some of the largest entities, private and public, within South Korea, which goes to show how large Icon is truly becoming. Icon Loop is making significant progress in South Korea. Its sustainable economy, with many projects and services running on the Icon network, it creates the opportunity for seamless composability, meaning it's quite easy for other products and services to build on top of one another. Similarly to how Ethereum enabled infrastructure to be implemented into the cryptocurrency ecosystem early on in the early cryptocurrency days, where Ethereum set a new precedent in new projects being able to be built on its smart contract platform, which caused a revolution in cryptocurrency where new projects were popping up all over the place in the Ethereum network. And it goes to show that Icon is doing that too. And that's where I think Icon can solve so many problems with scalability, interconnectivity, interoperability, and also the problem that many people don't see is that the communities of many different blockchain ecosystems don't have a voice. And I think that that's very understated. It's not stated often how important community is. And in Icon, everyone has a voice through their ICX coin, and they are able to vote and they are able to solve the problem of a lack of representation. And that, to me, as an upcoming history teacher, is so important, because in a state or a government or an entity, when you have no representation, you have no influence, you have no power, you have no opinion. You are silenced. And in Icon, you are not silenced. You have a voice, you have a name, you have a specific purpose in this ecosystem to help expand it through your vote. And that's exactly the problems that I believe Icon is solving at a very rapid rate.
Excellent. And Corey, you mentioned a bit DeFi. If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned it a bit. Like, and we know all that is the hot
Yes, I
topic
did.
recently in everywhere in the news.
Yes.
So I heard that
Uh-huh.
Icon is enabling DeFi and the cross-chain farming. Is it correct?
Yes, they are enabling a DeFi ecosystem, and I'm very excited to share that. So
I'm
there
happy to
is
hear that.
a so one of the dApps that are being built and it's being launched in early 2021, excuse me, is Balanced ICX, which is a DAO on the Icon network that creates tokens pegged to real world assets, bringing traditional finance to the icon ecosystem. So to get into a little bit of the intricacies of what Balance does is you're able to borrow icon dollars, deposit ICX coin as collateral, and borrow tokens like icon dollars, for example, for 0% interest, no interest rate whatsoever. You can earn contribution rewards, another incentivization measure for token holders and participants to actively become involved in the icon ecosystem. So you contribute to Balance and earn Balance tokens as well as voting rewards. Then you could sell collateral to traders, repay your icon dollars, or let traders pay it back for you in exchange for ICX collateral. One of the big focal components of cryptocurrency, not just icon, but cryptocurrency in general, is the issue of payments. You know, a lot of people utilize cryptocurrency as payments, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword because you can issue a payment to someone and the price of it increases in a day or it decreases in a day. So unfortunately, one thing in cryptocurrency that is yet to be solved is the volatility of different coins for payment. And that creates a big problem in the real world of traditional finance. So what Balance does is it realized that ICX is too volatile for payments and no one wants to spend a coin that can increase in value or plummet. So when icon contributors, they cash out to cover their costs, it unfortunately causes the price to decrease, and this is just a ubiquity within the cryptocurrency space. So there's also the factor in lengthy unstaking period, but I wouldn't call the unstaking period in icon very long. Right now it's roughly 8 days, and you know, when you're unstaking it may seem like a year, but 8 days really isn't that long. But it's evident that we need a better payment strategy if we are going to propel into the real traditional financial sector and amalgamate traditional finance with cryptocurrency finance. So what Balance does, it gives ICX, the coin itself, a new purpose: collateral for tokens pegged to real world assets like the US dollar, for example, and provides a reliable form of payment for the icon network and reduces overall the circulating supply of ICX. Contribute and you'll earn Balance tokens in addition to voting rewards. So in a nutshell, the benefits is to use icon dollars for stable payments, earn contribution rewards, cash out without crashing the price, and trade without reducing your ICX position. And you can send payments without the fear of volatility, use Balance to borrow up to 25% of your ICX value in icon dollars, which are always, like a stable coin, worth $1. Then use ICD for payments and grants or to power dApps on the icon network. So DeFi is coming in the icon ecosystem, and it's coming very, very fast, very, very quickly. And this has the potential to revolutionize the overall, gives icon the ICX coin another purpose in regards to collateral and being amalgamated with real world traditional finance, which is exactly what's needed to hyperconnect the world. Because you can hyperconnect cryptocurrency, yes, but if that only stays in that niche market, that niche asset class,
Yeah.
you're not really, and this is just a universality for cryptocurrency in general, you're not hyperconnecting the outside world. And what Icon is doing is connecting not only the cryptocurrency ecosystem, but the outside world as well, which is why I believe Icon is so well positioned to become a behemoth in the traditional financial sector and also the cryptocurrency sector as a whole.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Now, Corey, you are the ambassador of Icon, and
Yes.
like someone that did research before of cryptocurrency or blockchain, and then went toward this new era, financial, or how to say, like this new era of technology, of
Yes.
finance, of economy. Like with my program, with the Crypto Untangled, we try to share knowledge about the innovative, what blockchain can bring, why invest in blockchain, the benefits and the risks also investing in crypto market. We promote projects with novel ideas and their solutions toward different problems related to the nowadays. Like my question is more like, as our audience that listen are people if they hear it for the first time, like what is blockchain and all this terminology that only the crypto enthusiasts, crypto people understand the best. Can you tell us, maybe in a simple way, what pushed you to go toward blockchain and why people should start now? Maybe
Sure. So, sure.
to go toward blockchain and crypto market.
Sure. So one day I read a book called The War on Internet Governance by Laura Denardis, and this quote will always stay with me, that there has been more technological advancement in the last week than any other century prior to the year 1700. The fourth industrial revolution has continued and expanded its onslaught onto the entirety of the world. And blockchain technology is part of the fourth industrial revolution. And we look at traditional ledgers and how they are not secure. And I can use Equifax and the TransUnion hack as a perfect example, as these security paradigms are extremely flawed. So for anybody who doesn't really know about what blockchain is, in the most simplest of terms, blockchain is a distributed ledger where people can store transactions in a transparent manner on the blockchain, and it cannot be tampered with, whereas traditional ledgers can be tampered with. So in a nutshell, blockchain is pretty much a ledger-based technology that allows for immutability and transparency of transactions. And we're starting to see, well, not starting, it's been here for a couple of years now, but blockchain has been amalgamated with smart contracts. And what smart contracts are pretty much negotiations of transactions written in code. They enforce, facilitate, and initiate transactions, specifically cryptocurrency transactions in this case. And because it's done by computer algorithms, it takes away the malicious intent of human beings attempting to, without better terms, screw over the opposite party that you're looking to trade and exchange with. Computers aren't inherently malevolent. So, and they're not inherently benevolent. They just do what they're supposed to do. So smart contracts are pretty much negotiations written in code that allow for other infrastructure-based projects in the cryptocurrency ecosystem to be built upon these smart contract platforms. So in my opinion, to conclude on that notion, is always look at blockchain in conjunction with smart contracts. Blockchain is the ledger, smart contract is the infrastructure that negotiates the secure transactions on the blockchain written in code.
Excellent. You said it the most simple way as possible. And it kind of goes with the name of the program, Crypto Untangled.
Absolutely. You have to, because you can't, it's very difficult to get people involved in an ecosystem that's confusing,
yes,
frightening, and unpredictable. It really is. You have to be simplistic, and being simplistic generates a sense of interest, because it breeds on a sense of familiarity and understanding. If I don't understand something and I'm continuously trying to learn it and I can't understand it, I'll generally be led to a disdain for that ecosystem or that entity or that categorized knowledge, so to speak. So the focus of crypto education should be untangling, as you put it, and understanding the intricacies of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology in the most simple of forms.
Yeah, exactly. And as part of ICANN now, please, why people should focus on ICANN or start reading and investing on ICANN? And if you can give us also for the audience a general message, advice
Sure.
for them.
Absolutely. Surrounding Icon. So first and foremost, Icon is currently developing our own cross-chain communication solution called BTP, which is the blockchain transmission protocol, which again allows for the interconnectivity of all public and private blockchains that interconnect to the Icon network. And like I said briefly before, that one of the main issues that cryptocurrency faces is that blockchains cannot speak with one another. It's almost like two nations trying to communicate that speak opposite languages. You can't have a a dialogue between two different cultures, or different peoples that don't speak the same language, and it's very difficult to communicate. The same thing speaks volumes here, that you need a cryptocurrency ecosystem that connects different languages in the
Exactly. Yeah.
terms exactly in the terms of blockchain. So that's what Icon is intending to do. And we are also speaking to a number of partners to enable different types of interoperability, such as wrapping and unwrapping assets and bringing Icon to the Ethereum ecosystem, for an example. And my advice, personally, for someone getting into the Icon ecosystem is the importance of voting and finding a P-Rep team that
Yeah.
represents you. It cannot be overstated how important community is, and the notion of a voice, the notion of an opinion, and the notion of being involved in the ecosystem itself. So my advice for anybody looking to invest in the Icon ecosystem, first and foremost, is look at the activity of the public representatives and observe their activity, observe their development of dApps, look at their development of educational material, look at their development of partnerships between public representatives in the Icon network or even outside of it, because in order to expand, we need to look outside the Icon ecosystem to bring people on the outside into the Icon ecosystem. So the most important thing, in my opinion, given that I have been involved when I became the first Icon ambassador, one of my main tasks was to be a mediator for discussion panels regarding the Icon Census campaign in regards to the public representative vote and decentralizing the network. And I have interviewed over 25, 30 different P-reps over the course of the last couple of years, and the last year and a half. And what I've noticed is that when we look at public representatives, they need to listen to the iconist and they need to represent the iconist. And just as the iconist vote perpetuates the expansion
Yeah.
of the P-rep should perpetuate the expansion of the voice of the iconist. So in my opinion, look at community, look at outreach, look at what different public representatives are doing, look at their activity or lack of, and look at how they are bringing benefits to the Icon ecosystem. And there's just one thing I want to say in regards to staking and voting that I get in regards to a specific question. If I stake and vote, do I get a different reward rate depending on who I vote for? No. You'll get the same reward rate if you vote for a P-Rep team with 16 million ICX delegated to them or a P-Rep with 10,000 ICX delegated to them. That does not matter at all. So it allows for a person, an individual, to say, I will not lose any staking reward rate if I vote for a P-Rep team that may not be in the top 22, that may not be even in the top 50. So that's another benefit, that you are not penalized for voting outside of the main top 22 P-Reps. So my opinion is to stake and vote, participate in the participatory democracy that Icon has created, and observe public representatives and what they are bringing to the table in the Icon ecosystem. And also, lastly, always look at the news on Hello Icon World's Twitter, because you will see how much is really going on behind the scenes, and the partnerships and the webinars and the different innovations that P-Reps are creating, and the different partnerships that are being forged, both private and public.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
You brought us in a very simple way the big word resourceful system of Icon. Thank you so much. And
You're very welcome.
it's beautiful and incredible what Icon is doing. And
Absolutely.
I think it's one of the big competitors in the crypto world, in the crypto market, that really can make a big difference, not only for the economy, but for the life of everybody.
I absolutely agree. And I really believe that in the next 5 years, when all of this is completely implemented, we will see Icon as a behemoth, and not just South Korea, but throughout the entirety of the world.
Yeah, it is. I truly believe, and I really would love to see that. So,
Absolutely.
Corey, Is there anything else you'd like to add? For me, thank you again so much for
You're
making
very
this
welcome.
interview and this discussion happen. Anything else you would like to add?
Icon will continue to hyperconnect the world through decades to come, and we will revolutionize the cryptocurrency space and allow for different blockchains to finally communicate with one another, a problem and an issue in the cryptocurrency ecosystem that needs to be solved. And I truly believe in the motto of Icon, hyperconnecting the world. And I believe in the participatory democracy and the representative republic that Icon has conceived of. And that's exactly why I wrote Icon, the embodiment of democracy in the free market. It was my first article created for Icon voluntarily. And it got my foot in the door when Min Kim, actually our founder, retweeted it. And that article sums up what I truly believe Icon is and will always be. And I truly can't thank you enough for your time today, allowing me to speak and discuss the implementations of Icon and how it's expanded and its ecosystem as a whole. So thank you for your time as well.
Thanks a lot, Corey. Really would like to share as much as we can the information and knowledge, because I think that the biggest investment that the people who is listening or whomever now would like to invest first in projects in crypto and in blockchain, they have to invest first in knowledge. They have to learn, they have to read, they have to go to read news and whatever is happening, like papers, research papers. Because sometimes people are afraid or scared of the new information. They see it something as a puzzle to solve, and they are scared, and they are scared also of trying. But
Absolutely.
it happened to me first. I'm an economist and researcher, totally going through the digitalized way of economy or financial and crypto. It kind of scared me in the beginning, but then you want to learn. You want to learn and to know what's happening. You want to walk with the steps of the technology of life. So
absolutely. Absolutely. And I can absolutely relate. You know, my background before I got into cryptocurrency has nothing to do with blockchain. I'm actually going to school to be a history professor. So
yes,
I had
great
no,
what you are doing.
yeah, I had no background in cryptocurrency, and I created my own course on blockchain on Udemy, and I worked my way up in learning and just constant research. And I'm grateful every day that I got involved in this ecosystem, specifically Icon.
Thanks, Corey. Thanks a lot. Thanks
You're
for your
very
time,
welcome.
for the detailed information. I hope that we will keep in touch, and then we'll have another chance to discuss more, maybe for the future development Icon or different topics related to blockchain and crypto market.
Absolutely. I'd love to. I'd love to come back on the show. This was a wonderful discussion. I'm really appreciative of your time. I would love to come back on.
Thanks a lot, Corey. I wish you all the best and best of luck going forward. And yeah, we keep in touch.
Take care, miss. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot to you, Corey. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.